Greetings, my name is Mitchell Sabak. Today I'm going to be talking about Japanese-style first-person shooters. The origins of Japan's influence on Western art go back to 1542, when Portuguese merchants arrived in Japan and European works were imported, resulting in art that combined foreign subject matter with Japanese styles of painting. Such an exchange led to Europe taking an interest in Japan's culture, as seen in Edouard Manet and Claude Monet's art. Fast forward to the 1980s, Japan became a cultural superpower. Works like Nausicaa and Final Fantasy sparked Japanophilia that would also seep into the first-person shooter, a game genre derived from distinctly American ideals. In Common Sense, Thomas Paine stated that those who expect to reap the blessings of freedom must undergo the fatigue of supporting it, with a cause, determination, and weapon. In Japan, spiritual attainment and mastery were valued, concepts found in Yamamoto Tsunetomo's Hagakure. This made the weapon an extension of the self that requires inner force and training to properly wield it. Which brings us to Japanese mecha. Its origins can be traced to World War II, when Japan witnessed atomic power, inspiring cartoonists like Mitsuteru Yokoyama, who created Tetsujin 28 Go, whose appeal was the bond between the robot and its human partner Shotaro, enhanced by the machine's knight-like avatar of unstoppable justice. Go Nagai forged that link into a fusion with Mazinger Z. The robot's name evoked the image of a Majin, or demon god, reinforcing the idea of a human-made but unfathomable being. A hovercraft on its head housed its brain, the pilot, establishing Mazinger as an extension of the pilot that preserved its mechanical identity while symbolizing a unique man-machine symbiosis. The next step, Gundam, marked a shift in tone with human drama and vulnerable mechs that needed constant management. This highlights the difference from previous mecha anime, which treats mechs as semi-mystical beings. Gundam considers them mass-produced tools of warfare that take a backseat to the character development of their pilots. Shogo offers an example of a shooter that captures the essence of mecha by combining it with the gameplay of Doom. The bright eyes of the characters, grandiose explosions, and mock advertisements underline the anime aesthetic, as do the cocky angst and humor that ooze with Japanophilic charm. Ditto for the narrative. Like Macross, Shogo features a heated love triangle between its protagonist Sanjiro, his radio contact Catherine, and her rival sister Kura, one made more complicated by the fact that Sanjiro's allegedly dead friends Baku and Toshiro had defected to the enemy, further muddling the distinction between good and evil. Such plot convolutions drive the ambiguous struggles endured by Shogo's characters. As for the mechs, the Japanese suggestion of classes can be seen, such as the scout-like Akuma and assault-like Predator. The perspective begets a player-pilot mech bond cemented in anime-style battles. This brings up the Japanese mecha notion of body armor. Mechs can only withstand so much damage before blowing up, snapping the player back to the reality that the mechs aren't supernatural and can only thrive with our human core. Speaking of supernatural, Japanese horror springs to mind. Its origins are deeply rooted in the country's mythology, with the Yurei, or ghostly specter, epitomizing it. This vengeful spirit originates from a person's reikon, or soul, left in purgatory following a violent death, and serves as the backbone for kaidan, or ghost stories, inspired by the Japanese belief of coexistence between the Konoyo, world of the living, and Anoyo, world of the dead. Such ideas can be seen in Ringu. The Yuri, Sadako, represents the Yuri whose otherness landed her in a well, the bridge between the Anoyo and Konoyo. Drawing from Buddhist dualism, Sadako is presented as a spiritual force, promoting a holistic existence defined by physical and supernatural contradictions that render their boundary penetrable. Fear solidly captures J-horror via a dingy atmosphere that can crescendo at any moment, made all the more potent by Ma, or substantial silence, an important tool of J-horror that instills dread in the game's levels, such as a water facility where the player's footsteps can be the only sounds heard. Chaos also appears via a ghostly girl, Alma Wade, who triggers supernatural events that blur the line between real and imaginary, highlighting Fear's dualist philosophy. Even when Alma is off-screen, indistinct whispers give players the sensation that they're being stalked, made more frightening by the eerie silence and atmosphere. Japanese-style FPSs represent a dialogue between Eastern and Western game industries, with the former's themes and latter's mechanics making for an eclectic design. With the popularity of Japanese games with Western elements, like Dark Souls and Vanquish, the cultural interplay is getting stronger both ways. Thank you, or arigato gozaimasu.